No. Okay. So, if you do not know what this live is about, then that means you didn't watch my other live, and it's a continuation, and all of my following lives with these type of titles will be what it is. Okay. So, I re-listened to the first chapter. I took some notes. So I got some quotes and all sorts of things prepped and ready. So I listened from the introduction into the first chapter. The first quote is, enlightenment is not about becoming who you really are, but unbecoming who you never were. And if you were with me since the beginning of my channel, you know that this is how do you say, this is not what I started my channel with, but it's kind of going into this. So let me continue, starting with what he called the basics. This book is not about unlocking, love. It's about unlocking power. So when men do like different things to you, where they, for instance, you sat there, you love this person to death, and then, like, well, not even love. Let's say you're talking to somebody, and then after the first time you guys smashed, this guy ghosted you, and it's like, what happened? Like, what was going on? I thought we was cool. You have mad questions, and then it's just like they don't care, or you're still wrapped over, someone being like, oh, I love you, I want to marry you, and all these different things, but y'all been living together for like 10 years. Where at, bro? What's good? I thought you said you want to do that. And then you got like any situation. Instead of, or one of the situations he used in the book was, oh, my man cheated on me with my sister and my cousin. What can I do to keep him? Instead of being upset, or anything that's not like, what am I doing wrong? He says women don't become angry, but try to become more submissive. And it's like, why would you do that? And I mean, listen, if you've been in a relationship, yeah, let's not even call it a relationship. Or, oh, I'm gonna leave my wife for you, and that never happens. Like, there's countless situations, and instead of being like, oh, what's good, why is this happening, you say, oh, I must be doing something wrong. Maybe I'm not a freak in the bed. Maybe, like, you find 1,000 things wrong with you instead of actually looking at the situation, stepping back. Let me continue. He follows by saying, and I quote, being a girlfriend is like having a common cold. Leave her outside long enough and she'll get one. I find that hilarious because, yeah. He continues to be like, women do not have enough cojones to be happy, but instead they're happily ever settled because she never had the heart to get what she wanted. And another thing that I'm gonna quote from the introduction is, you don't need to be understood, you need to understand. And a lot of times when I see on social media, women are like, I don't understand why he da da da, when I, you know, and they come with their part, like, I love him, I did all of this, blah 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 blah, I don't know why he would treat me like this, and I say here I do this 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 this. That is you trying to be understood instead of trying to understand what's happening to you, why it's happening to you, and blase blase blase. I'm trying to make sure I got this last quote together, because I was writing as the audiobook was going, so excuse me. If you loved yourself as much as you love them, okay. If you loved yourself as much as you love a man's validation, you'd be unstoppable. Now that's something else, okay? That is something else. Like growing up, just anywhere I look, I can see like this is all hitting L's constantly. One of my sisters one day told me, okay, what's it called? She told me, okay, you need to learn how to do something because no man is gonna want a woman that doesn't do XYZ. And even in this book, he was like, this was debunked, okay? You know, instead of just having my validation built off of myself, it was more like, oh, this is what a man would want and things like that. Like that's deep. Like that's something else. Man, okay. Let me continue. Chapter 1, typical bees. I'm not gonna curse. Yeah. So this chapter is like defining who you are, not who you think you are. What is it that makes you special, and what do you bring to the table? If I had more participant watchers, then like I would ask questions and just leave it there. I think I'm going to, let me see if this will make a difference. Maybe. Whatever. Let me see. Look at me. Mother, tell me what to do. Do you wanna be evil like me? Do you wanna be rude? Alright, let me get my text savviness up, girl. Okay. Turning my text savviness up. Wow, like my favorite YouTuber's picture. Anyway, so let me continue with my notes. So when a guy asks you, what do you bring to the table, or what makes you special, the first thing that a lot of women do is they pull out, oh, you know, I got my own this, I'm this, that, and the third, comparing yourself to another woman. You know, the chances that a guy would meet a woman like that is, like he says, what's it, rain, finding rain in Seattle. Shoot. Men do not find it special no matter what they said. Men will, he says, men will play along because you're somebody that he did not sample yet. So he'll be like, yeah, you got your own. But in all honesty, that's not what's impressive, or not necessarily impressive, what makes you different. Because 9 out of 10 of responsible women, they do what they have to do. Like, it's not a big thing. Like, I get it. I get it. He then asks, you know, where's the charisma, the wit, the aggression that follows along with your accomplishments? Because assuming that you have those accomplishments for yourself, and not to impress a guy because you got like XYZ going on, you know, where's all of this? Or, you know, he also goes and talks about, okay, you know, I'm somebody that, like, you're, like, their mother would love me as a daughter, blah, 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 blah. But maternal traits grow on trees. Everything that makes you think, that you're different is typical. And, he then follows by saying, you know, this is not about tearing tearing you down. It's about tearing your false ego down. Anything that you can list, like, oh, well, you know, I got my own car, I got my own house, apartment, I make $100,000 a year, I went to college, I went to this Ivy League school. Like, I remember I listened to this lady, well, I'm not even gonna say where, because I don't, it's not indispensable. So I listened to this lady. She went in going about, you know, her accomplishments, to rant about talking about another woman. And it's like, listening to it, I got tired, had to click off of the video, because it's like, at the end of the day, are you going to stay in this spot, or are you, what does your accomplishments have to do with anything? Like, I just didn't find that to make any sense. So when a guy listens to, oh, what makes you special, I could imagine how that might feel for him, like if that's like the same thing. He follows by saying, you are not your career. Typical women have the idea that they're the only ones doing it big, and that is false. That's true. I remember, you know, being in school, if you just like take a moment to look around, to see that, just take a brief moment to look around how many women are in class versus men. You know, the fact that you're doing big, that's not a, like, it's not that I'm saying that it's not an accomplishment, that it's not something you should be proud of, but to compare yourself to somebody else, that's not, no. You must always remember that men do not date from your class of friends, but an entire sea of women. So, you know, you got the girl who came from a very, you know, financially stable home, and, you know, she's there going to on her second PhD or something, I don't know, you know, versus the girl that came from the hood, and she's going to school and she got her master's and all these different things. So if a guy is dating, you, and he just finished going out with a girl who, let's say she had her entire family here with her, you know, mother, father, you know, the entire dynamic that, you know, you need to grow, and let's say she had a very healthy household. It's not even like going to the dynamic of anything like that. Let's say she had a very healthy household, and he goes on a date with her and all these different things, and he asks us, so what makes you special, or what do you bring to the table, whatever. And let's say she goes and she names all these different things and all of that. Okay, cool. Then the girl that came from the bottom, she probably had maybe her mom or maybe just her dad in her life. You know, she struggled through her life, all these different things, but she got her master's, she got her own car, she got her da 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 da. This is something that the other girl probably already has, blah 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 blah. But is that exactly what he wants to hear when he says what makes you special? So like, this is just me understanding and, you know, really ingraining in my head the visualization of what he's describing. By the way, y'all can comment hello, you know, if you have any input about anything, just please just comment below, whatever, because I'm just gonna sit here and read the notes. Okay. All that matters to a man is your personality type. That shows him something different. I remember hearing that the first time. I know what type of girl you are, and I'm like, what are you talking about? You know, like, you know what? What do you know? What do you really know? And I would get upset because I'm like, who are you talking to? Like, I don't even know what type of girl I am. What are you talking about? You know what type of girl I am. But I'm still listening, like, to this audio, going chapter by chapter. Let's see if, like, you know, these guys know what they're talking about. When a guy is, you know, asking you what makes you special, he's not looking to network with you. He's looking to smash, to say in a non explicit way. He's looking to have sex with you. You know, it's not like a person will only, he follows by saying a person will be impressed with all your credentials if he's a user. He doesn't need you for you. He needs you for your materialistic things, because the car that you have is the car that he will have. Okay, the house that you live in will be the roof over his head. That is a fact. That is a Snapple fact. Put it on the top. It is real. Okay, it is a fact. The things that that you have is what he wants to leech over. And there's been countless, it's not even a real number anymore, it's Google at this point, of situationships where guys, you know, they call them playboys, or just guys that just, you know, they they don't want to be the provider. A provider is not interested in what it is that you can bring to the table when it comes to your credentials. He's just not. I've seen that, hands down. I've seen it. So like, I feel like I'm relating to this. So yeah. Yes, so I talked about that. Men can populate his own table. A man is often measured by his success, and usually a provider does not judge a woman, but takers do. So if a guy is over here talking about, you know, she doesn't have anything for herself, like, oh, she didn't go to school and things like that, then the chances are he is not trying to be a provider. He's trying to be maybe a playboy, I don't know, something like that, a taker. You they exist. No shame in the game, get it how you live, but this is what it is. And yeah. So he then follows by saying, ask not what you are. Wait. See, I know I done goofed up on this quote. Hold up. Ask not what you can do for a man, but what a man can do for you. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I found a situation very difficult when I remember I started paying for something because, you know, I'm young and social media is a thing. So I started paying for something, and a partner of mine was upset. He's like, I don't like this. And I was like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I don't think that guys that want to be a provider wants you to be paying bills or like things like that or whatever. And there's also other relationships that I heard of where, you know, after a while, you start getting treated like trash because you did not do this by yourself to be sitting here standing around acting like you the man of the house, you the head of the household. I'm the man, I mean the head of the household. So I think that there can only be truly one head of a household. Because when there's truly both, over time, I'm guessing it causes difficulties. Difficulties, a lot of difficulties. And one of the major reasons why people divorce in the first place is financial reasons. And it's just not good. It's not good. It's not. It's not. Okay. So there's that. And also remember that a man's love cannot be bribed, but he will always take advantage of what you give him. One of the examples that he gives, and he, mind you, in the book, he gives you a lot of examples. One of the examples he gave was like there was this woman, she would like cook fresh meals for one of his family members, and you know he would then flirt with her, and the guy's perspective that he told him as, you know, G. Lambert as a child was, that's one simple being. And I'm sorry, but I would never want to be regarded like that. I think that's just terrible. Just terrible. Just, I would never want to feel, well, not he didn't even make her feel like that because he flattered her, but I would never want to be in a predicament that is what is in the back of a man's head of me that I like. I hate that. He follows by saying results speak for themselves. Making a man earn you is common sense. Give him everything for free and you will receive nothing in return. And then now he talks about the sex as an ego play. I remember I was having a conversation with my one of my others. Listen, I'm a child of about over 15 siblings. Let's call it more or less, you know. So when I say sister this, sister that, you know, I'll never include names, of course, but I have a lot to choose from. So if you're wondering about the age dynamic, anything like that, I could be picking from the sister that's a year older than me, 3 years younger than me, 10 years older than me, 10 and change, 20 years. I have a large family. So, okay. So I was talking to one of my sisters, and we were talking about bad pee versus good pee. And I was like, what is that big thing? Because I never understood what that was. You know, I was asking her, I'm like, what is that? But, you know, she was explaining to me about, like, I still don't know how someone can look like that, but whatever the case may be. The vagina feeling during intercourse is an ego play. Men are known to flatter women or to slander women that they aren't with anymore. Sex is another crutch to ego playing. You got the career, you got the, my job, my car, my house, ego plays. What gets a man off is the experience of it. Sex is mental. Sex does not get you commitment. Like I was saying earlier, no matter if you have the aquafinas of heaven, it's not what it is. Now, the power isn't in your pee, but the promotion of it. Then the next part, you are not your looks. The great thing about looks is that they are subjective and easy to upgrade. Thus, your physical appearance compared to another woman should never leave you hopeless or cursed. Although some people say, like I was saying on my other life, oh, she doesn't even have thighs, itty bitty titty committee, or team thick, team brown skin, team light skin, all these different things. No, that's all signs of insecurities. I personally never felt comfortable with that, because I remember in high school I tried it, because you know what, high school, you want to be a part of something, at least I did, and it was like I couldn't be a part of no team, because I was team two-tone by myself, because I got a 10. I was too light for the dark skin, too light for the brown skin, sometimes a little bit too dark, and then for the light skin I'm too dark. So I'm team self. I've been team self for a while. So I understand where it comes into team this, team that. That is not a thing that how do you say, exudes confidence or shows you that you're confident, or or is a affirmation to tell you that you're confident. It's just not. It will never be. These are just all excuses for you not to look at yourself for who you are and accept yourself in totality. It's not about comparing yourself to other people. It's just you and you. It's just you and you. And that's like a daily thing, like I always see that team this, team that, and I've been saying it's sad since I had Facebook. Since the first time I made my Facebook, I have like a whole note up there talking about Willie Lynch theory and just a whole bunch of things. But it's a thing. Okay? The beauty industry isn't going to solve your insecurities. You'll get attention by the things that you feel are your strong suites, but not real security. So excluding that, okay, like, I know that someone's gonna like this, but then you have something else that is like, oh, that's a flaw of mine. In this song I wrote, I said, what's a flaw without recognition? Like, if a guy is into you personally, in your personality, you can look like SpongeBob, and to him, you will be the beautifulest thing in the world. Like, rainbows everywhere every time he's with you. You'll always pass a girl where it's like, wow, they're gorgeous. Like, he's not politically correct. Talking about, oh, everybody's beautiful and they're, but everyone is a person, you know, has their own personality, is a character. Beauty is subjective. I'm just gonna read that part again. The great thing about looks is that they are subjective and easy to upgrade. Thus, your physical appearance compared to another woman should never leave you hopeless or cursed. Tearing down what someone else has to show that what you have is, I did not finish that quote, but from what I remember, is not security, but it is effective. Yet it is powerless unless you have a male validation. Getting back to what he was saying about guys like to ego play. Smart men will ego play. Smart men know how to push the buttons of an insecure woman. Thus, looks will not keep a man. Look at Beyonce. She's gorgeous. Freaking gorgeous. I don't know how Becky looked like, but she wasn't Beyonce. I tell you that much. She was not Beyonce. Baddest girl in the game. Like, she is known worldwide. Worldwide. Respected worldwide. I don't know who Jay-Z done goofed up with, but looks do not keep a man. So when a girl's over here like, oh, well, you know, she doesn't even look good. I mean, she got a cute face or whatever. But, and you know what? So what? Because looks do not keep a man. Okay? And the first thing that a girl goes into when she doesn't get the response that she wants from a man is, you didn't like the way I look. You saw my flaw. You saw my big forehead, my gap in my tooth, my my small boob, just one boob. Stop. You know, all these different things, but that is an invalid statement. The real questions that you should ask after, let's say, you don't get a call back, or you don't get just anything you wanted, the questions are, did our personalities match in a real way? Did I exude confidence? Was the conversation intriguing? These are the questions that you should be asking. These are the questions that men ask themselves when they're considering, is this girl a game changer / wifey, or is this girl just, you know, something to have the time pass by? You know, things like that. Is that what it is? When they're like categorizing you, because they are categorizing you, trying to see, you know, what do I want out of this girl? You know, what am I gonna do with her? Is she, like, you know, fake pretty is equal to male validation. And I made sure that I you know, can I turn this around? Yes, I can. I put this in a whole different font. Fake pretty is equal to male validation, because it's like, that's a fact. I can see that. Because smart men know how to ego play with women. They know, okay, you know, a guy asked me one day, he said, so you wouldn't get insecure if I told Tia best friend? And I said, no. He follows up with, so what if I tried to get her number now? What would you do? And I said, well, you would have to go get her number yourself, because I'm not getting it for her. I don't even know if she wants to talk to you. I don't care. Once you're out of my hair, I don't care. Like, that's just you on you. But am I gonna be like, oh, it's because, you know, she looks like that, she looks like this, and I look like this? No. But smart men will try to play buttons. They will. They will. They will. Okay. Another thing is, when a girl is got something going for herself, like a relationship that's really successful, things like that, they'll be like, oh, what does she, and let's say like you're the ex of something, oh, what does she do? What is it that she did? What does she do differently? You know, oh, it's because her butt is big. No, it's not just because her butt is big. You cannot measure her intangibles, the things that you can't measure. You can't measure how many times she gave it up to him or whatever. The intangibles is maybe their personalities matched in a real way. Maybe she was confident in herself when she saw him. Maybe the conversations were intriguing. Not, her boobs is showing a lot. Physical appearance will get you in the door, but it will not keep you there. Okay? I'm almost done, y'all. Yes. So, the goal of this chapter is that you should not be held back by typical thoughts. What hooks a man is your internal truth. And the rest of the titles will be called Spartanhood. You know what? 300 was my favorite movie, and I'm just gonna take advantage of the fact that he has Spartanhood in that, in his book. And to lastly say, typical girls will get typical results. So it's not saying that you are wrong for accomplishing what you wanted to accomplish for yourself in your life. But to accomplish it for male validation, that's what Shira 7 calls a Bob the Builder chick, okay? It's just, look, it's a thing. It's a thing. It will always be a thing. And of course, you can choose your own destiny, but this is not necessarily the right one. But this is an option. You know, there, in my book, there is no right and wrong. There are choices. No, I don't believe that having good morals gets you to heaven, or being a good person gets you rewards, because good people will get shitted on. Oops. Being a good person will get you a time, okay? A time that you do not necessarily want sometimes. Being nice is another word for being, what was it? Being nice, the origin of the word was like being stupid. I'm not saying you gotta go outside and be mean, but don't sit there and put yourself in situations that you do not want to be in just because, oh, let me be nice. Because nobody cares if you're nice in the long run. No one cares that you're nice. No one cares if you decided to let that lady skip you in line. She's not gonna care. She's just gonna be like, oh, she let me skip her, okay? Thanks. Maybe if she says that. Being polite is different, but being nice for what? For what? You being nice for what? You don't even want to be nice. You being nice to that person when you didn't want to be nice is you being mean to yourself. That's the thing. So, yes. So, The goal here is to study the masters and become greater. If you do like the fact that I sat here and broke down the 2 chapters, even though I said 1, the introduction I didn't really count as a chapter. I just put it in there. If you do like these type of videos, you got something out of it, something that twinkled your mind a bit, comment below, let me know what you think. If whoops, my favorite YouTuber is live. If it's something that you don't agree with, you think that it's not right, but you want to see what else happens in the next chapters, also comment below. If it's inspiring you to pick up the book, maybe see what it is, buy it on audio, comment below, let me know. If you do not like GL Lambert, comment below, do it all, if you feel like this makes a lot of sense, you have somebody in mind where it's like, I feel like she should hear this because it would just help her feel happier in her life and the choices that she made, share it. Do what I'm purely doing this because I want to engrave this in my mind to where when I wake up in the morning and go to sleep at night, this is my complete truth, okay? Like, I don't want to have part of it down. I want to have the whole thing. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm taking notes. That's why I'm doing all of this. That's why I'm doing this live. Because I notice when we say something to people, we not only get inspiration, because when you talk to somebody about something, you get inspiration that add more thoughts to what's it called, to add to the why of why you're doing something. The passion will help you remember. Also, I learned from Bright Side is when you do this, it helps you remember. I like that. I don't want to forget. I don't want to. I want to be my best version. I want to level up. And I feel like this is part of it. Okay. Yeah. So, with all that being said, always remember that one is love. Okay. Word is bond. One love.